Discuss the Ashes.
Yeah, just 3, 2, 1. Rob, just hammer away.
Go on, Rob.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
for it. Whatever it is.
Good to see Mitch Stark first ball of the Ashes knocking over Rory Burns.
Rory Burns, terrible. Well, actually, it was a very good ball on leg stump, and it was a good ball to get first up, but it's not great.
Come on, Billy. Like Warney said, it was a half volley on leg stump. Just that. He should have just flipped it away to the mid-wicket boundary for a 4. Come on.
Just to apologise to anyone that's going to listen to this crap. I'm afraid they're talking cricket before we start.
Nice to see Joe Root make a duck as well.
Yeah. Unusual for him. He's a good player. Good player, Joe.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But you have got off to a great start, but long may it not continue. And we get back in the next one.
Tomorrow's a big day, Bill, so we'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
I can see England losing by an innings.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I think Tris is sleeping.
No, you just carry on. I'm getting myself a cup of tea while you do this. Carry on. Saves me having to join in. Keep going. Come on, keep going.
Yeah, it all depends on what happens tomorrow. If we can get more of a lead, then I think Deepsy may be right.
Yeah, it could be. I can't understand them dropping Broad, to be honest with you, for another spinner. I'd have played Broad all day against Australia. I think he does well against Australia, and I think it was a bad decision to not go with the extra seamer and try and put a spinner in. For me, anyway, but that's just me, I suppose.
So is the Ashes a bit like the boat race, where the same 2 teams qualify every year?
Yeah, Ashes are only between England and Australia. There's no other teams are involved.
Ashes is like saying Merseyside Derby. It's only 2 teams. Come on.
I'm taking the piss, Seamus. Please, come on. It's an old joke about the boat race.
You know who's impressed me though about how quick he was is Mark Wood.
Yeah.
Was that when you were out dogging?
That's his name, Tris, Mark Wood.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Is this some kind of dogging reference? He was quick, was he?
He was very quick.
He's rapid.
He's quick, Mark Wood.
Yeah.
He's on the chin.
He's the quickest bowler we've got, Mark Wood.
He was bowling 150s today.
Oh, he does it quite regularly, and then he also falls down on his follow through.
Yeah, and don't know why Stokes is playing. He looks like he's playing on one leg.
Yeah, he's not in his best form at the moment. He hasn't played a lot of cricket, to be honest with you.
You see, apparently his first spell he bowled like 30 odd balls, and apparently 14 of them were no balls, and they didn't call him.
Yeah, he's well out of form. He's got to, but surprisingly, he is a good cricketer, but he hasn't played enough cricket to be involved.
Yeah.
I had to play Broad instead of him and maybe give him a few times in the nets and let's see what he comes up with.
I was going to say exactly the same thing as you then, Bill. That was exactly what I would have done as well, you know. Great minds. Great minds.
I thought you were going to talk about the follow-through, Tris, after the way you paint today.
No, but I'll be doing that if you keep making me laugh.
I think Stokes is just playing for the balance on paper.
What do you say, Deeps?
I think, Stokes is being played just so that he balances the team, at least on paper, because he can bat and ball and field and everything, so...
Yeah, bit out of next though for me, but...
Yeah, he's been out of the game for far too long now.
Yeah,
It's his first outing.
Yeah, they were hoping for a bit of a medical off him, but it obviously never came. So...
Right, shall we move on to actual football then, since we're a football
podcast
now?
Let's talk football now.
So, hello everyone, sorry about that. Not my fault. I'd just like to say, I would have preferred not to even know a cricket existed, but you know how it is. So we'll just start with the news, shall we? What about Newcastle's first win? I think we can start there, can't we? Do you think they can survive now? Have they got it in them? Under the great Eddie Howe, of course.
Yeah, he's got away with a bit of murder there. Burnley, to be fair, are in as much trouble as Newcastle now, aren't they? Everyone thought that they were going to pick up after a slow start. They always have a slow start. But Newcastle, fair play to them. You know, they're playing for the manager at the moment. Whether that continues, we don't know. But they scraped a 1-0 win, and it was a big win for Eddie Howe. Big win. And, you know, I think it says more about how bad Burnley are than how good Newcastle are for me.
Well, they weren't able to invest much in the summer, were they? So
no.
What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, look, it's still tough to make a prediction this early on for the relegation battle. I think there's a handful of teams we can all see being down there in the battle itself, but to pick Newcastle to go down, it's definitely a possibility, but I still think it's a bit early to say they're definite. Don't think Eddie Howe's capable of, anything spectacular, as we know, but it's going to be a very interesting one to keep an eye on.
I thought Eddie Howe was your hero, Rob.
Was that?
With him being a big Everton fan and that. I know how much you love your toffees.
Not a fan.
Oh, sorry, didn't mean to butt in
No,
there.
you're right.
What about you, Seamus? Your turn.
You're in trouble when Everton are thinking of sacking their manager and they're still 8 points clear away from you.
Yeah.
Well, Everton, just to point out, we should mention Everton have got 18 points in the Premier League, the same number of points Liverpool got in the Champions League. Just to point that out. Just thought I'd mention that while we were on the subject of Everton being ahead.
And you got the easy group, that's right.
Yeah, you didn't have a tough group like Man United.
Yeah, we got
you had to play young boys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got the easy one. I mean, it wasn't fair, really. I mean, none of them were proper Champions League teams, were they? That Atletico Madrid.
No,
Who were they? No. Porto, my ass. It was unfair, really. We only put out a reserve team and we still beat Milan.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I looked at that Morton. And he could be a bit of a player in, doesn't he, that lad?
I like him a lot. He's quick.
He plays really well.
God, he's quick.
Yeah. He still looks like a little boy, don't you?
Yeah.
When you look at him, he only looks like a little boy.
Yeah, but that's because you're 855,000 years old, Billy. Everyone looks like a little boy to you. I mean, you said Karen Kirkwood's your young bit of fluff that you like on the telly, and she's 85 years old herself.
Yeah, she's
just a bag of dust. She's that old. Even Rob would turn her. Well, maybe not. I'm going a bit far there. Sorry. Sorry. Rob's already been cruising tonight. He's excited. I think we've got to talk Everton next, haven't we?
I got the giggles already.
Yeah.
Sorry. You go, Bill, because I'm going to giggle away with Rob.
Everton, they got a good result against Arsenal. But as I said at the time, if you wanted to play anyone when you're in trouble to get out of it, Arsenal would be the team you'd pick because they have got less cojones than what Everton have. And they are really a side who you'd want to play because they've got no bottle and they've got no fighting spirit.
Let's be honest, they've got less balls than your missus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mike, she's got yours still in a box, hasn't she?
But they were poor. They had a couple of good chances. It wasn't the greatest game, especially first half. It was terrible. But Everton showed something that we've been asking for all year. Show a bit of heart, a bit of spirit, a bit of fight. And that's what they showed in the second half. And Damari Gray played really well.
He always had so much
Gomez coming on. Yeah, I think Gomez coming on helped. Because our midfield is so negative, and I think he helped as well.
Putting him on
what a
late.
strike as well.
Oh,
sorry.
No, go on.
No, it was top hit to win the game. Just squeezed it in on the inside post, coming off the post.
Yeah.
And it was good to hear Martin Tyler lose his shit. So I thoroughly enjoyed that one.
Yeah.
What's it?
Go on, Trish, you were going to say.
I was going to say that bringing on Gomez late in a game is best because he's very lacking in mobility, very slow, so he can get overrun in midfield. If you bringing him on for the last 20 minutes or so when players are tired, that's not going to happen so much, so he can actually make use of his passing range. He's actually useful.
It was a good move.
Almost an impact sub, really, but without so much of the impact, maybe.
Yeah, he still hasn't recovered from his injury when he broke his leg.
Oh, it's a hard one.
Broke his leg. But, I think there's a bit of a player in there, but I should say more of a cameo role than what an actual starter. You're probably right there, Chad.
But the big thing with Everton, anyway, what I actually wanted to talk about is the brand sacking.
Yeah.
And giving more power to Rafa.
Something had to give, and he obviously, I've talked about Brands a number of times on the podcasts, and that he hasn't been doing the job that he was actually paid for. Now, whether that's down to the chairman, the owner, not letting him have the picks that he wanted, but the deals that he's put on the table for players' wages and paying them really good salaries, the signing of Rodriguez, the allowing of the signing of Rodriguez. If he didn't like it, if he wasn't happy if it was going above his head, he should have resigned.
Exactly.
He should have resigned 2 years ago, rather than just sit there and accept not being able to do it. That's his claim, anyway. And, I thought that was just totally wrong. Be a man, stand up and say, I'm not having this, I'm walking.
That's what I was saying to you last week. If he's not actually controlling doing his job, why is he there?
Yeah, and another thing I wanted to talk about the planned walkout after 27 minutes. It never materialised, did it?
That's not true. That's not true. Seamus was at home watching on the laptop, and he turned it off in 27 minutes and went outside to the bag.
I was going to turn it off after 27 minutes.
So many things inaccurate with what you're saying.
I know, you don't smoke, I know. And you weren't watching it. But besides that, it was totally true.
Yeah, it was a bit of a misnomer. That was
how many?
You did walk out. Well, there you go.
My auntie reckoned it was about 12 people walked out.
There's a few more than that, but it was a non-event, wasn't it? It was a non-event, and I made up.
If it was more than that,
they got behind the lads. They got behind them.
Yeah. Maybe it helped. Maybe it got get the fans up and act, behind the team. In an odd way.
And you could hear the fans more than what you have done recently, and they give to all the fans, and you could see it helped the players. But another thing I'm not happy about was Dean. Yeah, look at Dean being dropped. Now, I think he's a very good player. You know that. I think he's a very good player.
You know what the problem is there, don't? Oh, I think you said it as well, didn't you? I think I read you saying it as well.
I did say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I got a.
It's true.
One of the Everton players. This is second-hand information. Was saying about Dean. Gave him license. Ancelotti gave him license to go to back to France whenever he wanted, basically. And he's had this thing that he could just go when he wanted. and not train. And Benitez put his foot down and said, "You're not going anywhere. You're training," and he didn't like it, and they fell out over that. According to, this is one of the players.
Yeah.
I won't mention the player who it was.
I'm telling you, Rafa said the same thing.
Yeah, and and Rafa won't have it, and I'm made up that he won't have it. You can't just go when he wants. I want to go back to France for treatments on an injury, or go see my family. No, you're a paid professional. If you're told to train, you train, and that's the end of it.
Well, Rafa looked at it that, like, the team needs to be improved. Having a bad run, you need to sort it. You don't do that by not training. You need to be,
you don't know.
well, even if you do not train, as he said, you need to be together as a group and build togetherness. And this was, there's so much disruption with things like this happening. He was saying there's apparently there's more than one player that was getting a bit of an easy ride under Carlo Ancelotti. And and he was saying, and he needs to sort it. He wants to bring them all together, and the first thing you need to do is they've got to be together all the time. So
yeah, and I think that's a totally right attitude to have. I'm made up that Benitez has stood up and be counted, and I don't think he was happy with Brands anyway. I don't think Brands helped him in any way, shape or form. And I think it might be a good move to have got rid of Brands and give Rafa a bit more input, hopefully, because I've wanted that for a while now, for the manager to pick the players who they buy, not the director of football, and say, here's a player, fit him into your side. Let the manager pick who he wants.
Yeah, but I have my fears over that, because I remember what he was like at Liverpool. And he gave the scouts too much leeway there. Hopefully he's learned from that. But the last, his other jobs, since leaving Liverpool, all his jobs have been working under a director of football. So he's not had this situation since. But I mean, fair play. He did all right with two of the signings in the summer, but Rondon. Anyway, but what he was doing is he was giving the scouts too much leeway. He wasn't even watching some of the players and having a look to see. He was just letting the scouts recommend them and sign them on that basis, which is how we ended up with players like Aquilani he'd never even seen play.
Yeah, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. The manager's got to see the player and assess him himself. He can get advice off them. Come and watch this player. Yeah. But he's got to make the final decision for me.
Yeah, that's what would worry me if that's happening. I mean, it could be worse. Yeah. You could hire Seamus as the chief scout.
That would turn the fortunes of Everton Football Club. That would just instantly make them one of the best run clubs in the world.
Would you?
I think you would as well, dude.
Only if you got rid of Mashiri. Because he ain't gonna let anybody else choose everything, is he? He's too much of he's a problem. He's the problem for me.
Yeah. His way of running the club is a problem, I think. Not him necessarily.
Yeah, well, no, because
his hands-on.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand
his hands-on
football.
approach. He should just let football people. And isn't it like he gets manipulated easily by the agents and other outsiders?
Yeah, he took bad information. Sharks had it from the start, where he said that, Mashiri's getting advice off all these people, some of them not even football people, on who they should buy and the way they should be going and who to deal with. And that's the wrong thing to
Oh, who's on? Who's on? Oh,
someone has an iPhone.
Who's going on here? It's not mine.
No, that was mine, man.
Don't believe that. Nobody had messaged you,
Siri on the line.
You've got no friends. Don't give us that.
I've got a couple, but only a couple.
What, a couple, literally a couple that are friends with your missus, really? Yeah. and they just have to put up with you because you come along with her, is that it? Still, it's two more than I've got, so I can't talk, really. I mean, you lot are the closest I've got to friends these days. Oh, God. Oh God! If I'm found hanged, you know why now, don't you? How old is that ringtone? Stephen asked. I think it's nearly as old as Billy.
It isn't now, but it's the one that comes with the phone. So there you go.
When did you buy that phone? Was it?
A year ago.
I bet it was before the days, of internet and that. It was when they plugged in the wall. It's got a receiver and a a handle separate, hasn't it? Like the old. Remember those ones, those standard ones, where you take it off the thing. Oh bless you.
Yeah, the first one I had with when I worked for the council, I got one. The battery was about 8 inches by 12 inches. You needed to carry the battery in a wheelbarrow. It was that big for the phone you had, you know what I mean? The first one.
I remember them. They used to be. I remember a bloke down the road had one for work, and it was literally that it was like a those square weights you can sometimes get with the handle in the middle of them. Do you know the ones I mean? Shaped like that. It was like a big carry case thing. Huge.
Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, one of them. But I'm an iPhone guy now, so I'm up to date and all.
That's not really up to date. That's a cultist. You've joined a cult, mate. Apple. Oh.
Right. Well, we've been on Everton. Any more to say?
Well, has Seamus got anything to add on it, or Rob?
Well, Rob, go on, boys.
No, I was happy to see that Brands was given the boot. I know you've been speaking about it for a while. Like Trish said on the pod last week, he's either not making the moves and letting people do things over the top of him, or he's doing the moves himself and making mistakes. So whichever the case was, it wasn't right. He needed to go. He's gone. Hopefully now Rafa's, gets a bit more time to settle, because I do think, obviously, from seeing him a lot at Liverpool and after and such, I do think he's a good manager, and I think he will be good. But again, bringing up what Trish said last week, when he came to the club, it's about the fit, and he doesn't have a lot of the support from the Everton fans because of his previous history and such. But I do think if he's around long enough, he maybe can make a point that he might be a fit if they give him the chance.
Speaking of points, are you trying to tell us that you listened to last week's pod? Even though you weren't on it? Oh my God.
Always.
You must be the only one other than Stephen who listens to this. He's stuck in the car with nothing to do.
I always listen back. But look, I hope things turn around, because I don't dislike Everton. The nice run club, and the rivalry's good and healthy. I like that kind of thing. So I really do hope that Rafa and the boys can turn it around a bit. Obviously, not finish above us, which I don't think will happen. But hopefully they don't get into any sort of relegation battle, and they can steady themselves from here.
Yeah. What about you, Deeps?
Then can we now just laugh at Arsenal?
Yeah. Oh, that's always a fun pastime. It's just it'd be better if Ian was here as well, so we could laugh at him while we're doing it.
Yeah, they were pretty awful. They had a couple of good chances, don't get me wrong, but as a side who you're looking to put it out there and be hard to beat, they're not, are they? They roll over far too easy for me.
Well, we were told we were all told we were wrong about Arsenal and Arteta for a while, because they had a decent run against other crap sides. But no, back to form now. Back to form.
They lost even Michael Carrick could beat them.
That's when you know you're a crap side, isn't it? Mind, to be fair, that's probably a step up from having Ole in charge, to be fair. So
yeah, it is, yeah.
I would have said even Ole could beat them, but he actually didn't, sir.
Point proven that, I think. Bless him.
He beat every other team except Arsenal on a regular basis. I'm just talking the traditional big teams.
Really? How many times did he beat
Yeah,
Liverpool?
City 2 times.
Out of how
Right.
many?
He beat City. He beat City. He beat Chelsea, but not the mighty Arteta's Arsenal. You're really out of your depth when you can't outfox Arteta.
Yeah, that's a fair point. He is possibly.
Yeah, there's a
I
fair
still
point
think
to
he's
end
the
on
worst
there, yeah.
manager in the Premier League history. I still can't
Who's
think
that?
of a worse one. Arteta.
Bob Bradley.
He
Yeah,
never
Bob
really.
Bradley,
He
yeah.
wasn't really there long enough to get given a chance to. I
All I
think
remember
it
is
would have probably made it. I think you're probably right if he'd stayed longer. To be fair, but I'm talking about ones that have had over a year. Had over a season to.
I still remember he came to England and was using Americanized terms in the press conferences and got slammed for it.
Yeah, that's just a bit ridiculous, though. I mean, they complain when people say soccer when they forget it's an English word in the first place. They just like to have a go at anybody who's foreign.
Yeah.
It's just racism, mate. That's the problem.
Talking about that, though, remember when McLaren started talking?
Oh.
Dutch, that was amazing, wasn't it?
And then Joey
With his
Barton did it
accent.
in France as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
It's like, what the
Over there.
fuck?
I couldn't believe it when I heard it. I was flabbergasted.
Those two, like, you just, like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, really embarrassing.
What was that all about? Why did he do it? Why did either of them do it? I mean, that's what I'd like to have explained to me. What was the thinking behind it? Because it was clearly deliberate, you could tell.
It was just like hello, and my players are doing well.
Yeah. And he kept saying, shh, like that. It's like, what the where did that come from? I mean, he's only been there a few days. You can't tell me he'd picked up the accent already.
Or how about when David Moyes went to Spain?
Oh.
Yeah, that was another one,
No,
yeah.
the better one. Gary Neville went to Spain was a better one. That's the best. That's the best move in Spain. That one.
He got through it.
Yeah, they called him the worst coach in La Liga history.
Not right, they were.
Oh God! And yet he's still pontificating, giving his opinion like he knows something. Bless him.
He's not actually a bad pundit. I like listening to him, but he obviously can't do it.
I think he's awful.
I think he's a decent pundit. I like him.
He's terrible.
They're all just playing a role anyway. None of them are actually saying what they want to say. They're all told what to say.
No, they're all told what to say. Absolutely.
I remember my uncle was when Man United went to Brazil. Remember they sacked off the FA Cup to go to Brazil to compete in the first proper Club World Cup.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It was covered, but the only thing that covered it was the live TV or whatever it was on cable TV. Do you remember? Do you remember that, Bill?
I don't remember them doing it. I remember the incident, but I don't remember
it was based in Liverpool, so they got our John in to do the punditry in the studio. I mean, he's a stand-up comedian, for fuck's sake, so that shows what they thought of Man United's trip to Brazil, like, that they got in a scout stand-up comedian to be the pundit on the show. Like. But because it was the BBC,
like to listen to that.
It was the BBC that did it. This is the thing, it's for the BBC, and he was basically told what he had to say, or he'd never work in the TV again. Was basically what they told him, and he had to say that he wanted Man United to win. And he was texting, he said, phone me, that was it, and said like it's the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I've never felt so sick saying I wanted Man United to win, as if. But yeah, he had like a script of things he had to say, he had to mention and talk about, basically. He wasn't allowed to give real opinions as such, to be honest. It was just the most pointless thing he's ever done, but fucking hilarious. I'm hearing him say he wanted Man United to win. Oh, it was weird to listen for that alone, I tell you. You still got to question what they thought of Man United's trip, though, when they brought in a comedian to do the trip.
Well, they brought one in to manage the club, so that doesn't really surprise me.
Maybe that's where they got the idea from. Right, let's move on anyway. So we'll go on. I think we've got to talk about Bellingham. Have you heard?
Yeah,
he got a ban now. You know, he got a punishment now. But the thing was, the referee in the Man United. Sorry, that's because we were just talking about Bayern Munich versus Dortmund. Dortmund lost 3-2. The referee rejected a Dortmund pen, then gave Bayern a penalty, which won it. But the ref had been banned for 6 months for match fixing in, I think it was 2015 that the actual match fixing happened. I don't know when his ban was for. But he's come back and he's been allowed to referee big games like that, even one referee of the year. I mean,
that's ridiculous.
How does that? I don't know. I mean, hasn't Bellingham got a point that this guy, that it's a bit
absolutely
dodgy?
He's got a point.
Even if he's not fixing it, and he is being legitimate. If there's any dodgy decisions, you just automatically think, oh, don't you?
Yeah, he's always going to be a thing for it. Go on.
You're just bringing more like conspiracies into the fore with those sorts of people.
What's pressure on him as well, isn't it, to perform?
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
You can't expect him to do well.
Every minor mistake he makes, people are just gonna
highlight it,
highlight it more and just bring about his past and try to associate his previous doings with how he's reacting right now. So it's a tough job. It's a tough job all the way around.
Did anybody actually see the decisions and know whether they were even good?
No, I didn't actually. I only on a read of it. I didn't see the game.
The penalty Bayern got was kind of iffy. It wasn't a clear-cut penalty, so it was always bound to be talked about.
Really? Because I heard he was looking the other way, Matt Hummels, and it hit his hand. Is that correct?
Two Dortmund from what I remember, two Dortmund players were going up for the ball, and it hit the first player and then rebounded directly to Hummels' hand.
Yeah.
His eyes weren't on the ball, but.
Right. Okay. So
did you think it was a penalty?
It's a 50-50 decision, and when you know that he's been associated with match fixing, people are just gonna say, that must be him being biased towards this team or biased against.
But he shouldn't really get the gig, should he? He shouldn't really get the gig if he's already been done for match.
No, that should be the end of his career.
He should never referee again,
doesn't it?
He shouldn't be allowed. He shouldn't be allowed to referee in general.
Yeah, not in professional sport. That's got to be the end of your career. You can't get away. Match fixing is too serious an offence to have them back in sport at all. I mean, it's bad enough you've got Paolo Rossi winning Italy the World Cup after they removed his lifetime ban for match fixing because they were short of a striker. I mean, those kind of things ruin the sports for me. Because you look back at it and think, is that a legitimate World Cup win, or did they just cheat and he match fixed it? You don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
Sorry, my guitar fell over.
Your guitar?
My guitar fell over, yeah.
I've heard it all.
You can play it from
Oh, he's going to play us the tune.
I was going to, yeah. No, I don't think I'll bother.
Go on. Oh, we need Abid to do the singing, though.
Yeah.
Because he's the singer here, isn't he? Yeah. Can you play Neighbours? Here we are. We love that. We need to do that next time. Next time he's on. Won't be at the moment because he's flying to Abu Dhabi today.
Oh, is he?
Well, he's flying to. He's out here. He's flying out here in Dubai first, then going to Abu Dhabi from here for the Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah.
Hard work for some people, isn't it?
Yeah, hard life he's got, I tell you.
Isn't it just, yeah?
He's like, yeah, are you free? Well, some of us have to wait for a living, mate. Bless him. Yeah, I wish I could have. Yeah, but to be honest, I got taken there once, but my dad took us there for a birthday present, late birthday present, because obviously my birthday's months before. But took us to see a race. It was the last time Lewis Hamilton won it at the final race. Oddly enough, my dad took us there, but I went with Phil Ed 33. For anybody listening who doesn't know who Phil is, Ed 33 and my dad. And they sat there the entire time. Neither of them did anything but moan to the entire. It's the worst birthday present I've ever had. I wanted to watch it and I couldn't. Oh well, he's just like, oh, you two, fuck off. And they have like these huge concerts on afterwards, but those two just wanted to bugger off home. You know, they have all sorts of things on afterwards. I wanted to go to Ferrari World and that, but no, even though we pay, it comes free with the tickets. No, we can't go to any of that because we might enjoy ourselves. Fucking miserable bastards. Care of them. I tell you what it was like. It was like, because they sat either side of me as well. That was even worse. So they were talking across me all the time, and I was just thinking, oh, shit. But it was like being sat in between those two moaning old gits from Muppets. Do you remember them? Yeah, old Seamus and Bazza. Oh, I tell you, never had so. Oh, I was just so glad it was over when we got home. The worst was on the way back, trying to give directions to me dad, and he's just, he's such a nervous driver these days. He never used to be, but we're on the way back, and I'm saying to him, you need to move to your left lane, Dad. Move left, and you need to go one lane left. So he goes right, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Do you not know your left from right? He said, yeah, I do, but I didn't know if you did or not. Oh, God. I tell you, it's the worst. Oh, just don't ever do that again. Oh, we've got a spammer. We've made it now. We've really become big. We've got a spammer in the chat. Whoa. Hey, we've made it, lads. Right, anyway, should we move on?
Yeah, go on, Chris.
Yeah, what about San Francisco 49ers with their investment arm buying Leeds by January 2024, possibly, obviously. That's when their option to buy the 100% of Leeds runs out. So it looks like they're going to take it up, because they own 10% at the moment. And they're looking to, they've been putting investment in. They want to upgrade the stadium, and stuff with the training ground and stuff like that. They've been investing big style, so it does look likely that they will take up the option.
I'm sure Leeds will be made up with that. The supporters will be made up with that. But is it more outside investment that we want? Is it going to be another Newcastle, another United with the Glaziers, teams coming, owners from abroad coming in, trying to pass the fair play rules? Is it going to be one of them again?
It's a bit odd being owned by another team rather than owned by, individuals who own a team or a group of investors who own another team buying buying them as well. It's a really odd, it's like, how does San Francisco 49ers have the money to buy a team rather than, it just feels really odd to me.
It does, yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about the NFL, to be honest. It is the NFL, yeah. It is the NFL. They are American football, aren't they? Yeah, just thinking there might have been baseball or something. Then I wasn't sure.
No, football.
Yeah, bad rugby they are. It's just, I mean, am I the only one who finds that a bit odd? I mean, would they be able to invest, or would they need the money for for their other team? Like,
yeah, it seems pretty strange.
Yeah, it's a money thing. It's a money making thing. It's got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be a money making investment, open to sell it on, because the days of the owners, one owner, is going, I think.
Or maybe I was thinking, maybe they're seeing it as a chance to, because the NFL in Europe, they play in Europe quite a lot. Maybe they're thinking invest in Leeds, in the ground and that, maybe play some of the 49ers games there.
Yeah, very possibly, yeah.
Things like that to build up a following in the UK and stuff like that. Maybe I was thinking maybe that's what they're looking at long term. I don't know. I don't understand. It just doesn't seem. It seems a really odd move to buy a team from a completely different sport when you're a team.
Yeah, it does. No, well, we'll have to see how that one pans out.
Seamus is conspicuously quiet on that one.
American football into it, and then you lose me completely.
What? Do you not
you
know
bring
Leeds
American
United
football do I care who Leeds United are?
What? Are you trying to suggest as a Man United fan you don't love Leeds? I can't believe that, Deeps. You know how much. I know how close the two teams are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you bought Alan Smith from them to save them.
Cantona.
Yeah, I don't think that was to save them. That was to save Lee Chapman's wife from. Allegedly. Yeah. No, he was shagging her on the side, wasn't he? That's why they chose to get rid of him. Because, that's the way you go, isn't it? Lee Chapman or Eric Cantona, which are you going to get rid of?
Yeah, let's see.
I mean, obviously. I mean, it's obvious you're going to get rid of Cantona, aren't you? Right. We'll move on to RBL next. Leipzig sacked Jesse Marsch, then went and won in the Champions League. Wasn't it their first win in the Champions League this season, was it? Or second?
I think it was, yeah.
Possibly because they have only 5 points, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was their first win. Yeah, anyway, they sack him, and then the interim goes and wins straight away, But the thing I was wondering, I mean, he's got the lowest points average in RBL's history, which obviously isn't a long history, to be fair. But with a manager like that, or a head coach, sorry, where does he go from if he can't succeed with a setup like Red Bulls?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what do you do there? I mean, if you can't succeed there where everything's laid on a plate for you, and all you've got to do is a bit of coaching, it's not, it's...
Yeah.
Well, what do you do?
Yeah, he's obviously not up to it, is he? Otherwise, they wouldn't have got rid of him. Because, as you say, it's an easy gig, isn't it? It really is for a manager. When you've got the backup that you get in Red Bull, it'd be strange if you're not to do well rather than the norm.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult to understand how he can fail, really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
How did he get on? He did well in the MLS, though, didn't he? Which is why he got the move in the first place.
To Salzburg?
Yeah.
No, to Leipzig. He first moved to Leipzig as a assistant manager, and then to Salzburg, I think.
Yes.
There you go.
So yeah, I mean, it's one of those where you just think that's got to be pretty much a career over. Apart from at the high end, I mean, he's got to be going back to the MLS by the looks of it, isn't he? And where else can he go?
Yeah. I think Barry's joined us.
Is Baz in now? Thank God for that.
Yeah, Baz is in, yeah. Hello, Baz.
Hi. Pass the story.
How are you, mate?
Rob's got morning glory, definitely.
Rob.
Yeah.
You're very quiet, Bazzy. You need to speak up a bit, mate.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
That's
better.
Right.
No,
Yeah, we can.
get it.
Sorry, you've got a dose. Hey, Seamus.
Doing much better before you joined in.
Well, what? Go on, fill me in.
Oh, please.
We've been talking about Everton.
I think Rob does the filling in much better.
Yeah. Just bend over, he'll fill you in all day long.
We're not talking about that.
Just trying to help.
We've done most of the news items. Is there any more, Tris? Any more news items?
Yeah, I was going to say there's two more things. The COVID
Go on,
restrictions in Europe. I mean, is it going to go back to having no fans, even though this new variant is like a sniffle? So, don't know why the panic.
It's going to be a tricky one. It's going to also affect the AFCON, I'd imagine. I think COVID's not going away, and it's going to affect transfers in January, certainly. And as I say, the AFCON is going to be a big thing because of COVID. I don't think that many will want to travel. But supporters won't want to travel or be allowed to travel either.
Supporters will want to travel, it's that they're not allowed to. They've not got a problem with that.
Yeah.
They don't care. But, well, I was thinking, I mean, is this, in the UK, it just seems like they're, obviously Bozo's trying to use it to cover up his Christmas party. So he's trying to take attention away by going on about this, because this new Omicron's like, I mean, but nobody's getting really badly ill from it. So why the panic? Why is it? Why is the stock market crashing and stuff? It makes no sense.
It's
but
because
they're bringing in new restrictions.
It's transmitted. It's transmitted a lot more than like the Delta variant.
Yeah, but if it doesn't do any damage, it's like having a cold. You don't close everything off because colds can be passed on, and they get passed on by everyone. But you don't close everything down. You don't close the airports and stuff, do you? You don't have. I mean, I've got a quarantine for 5 days when I move now, after they'd removed all the restrictions because of this Omicron variant, even though it's just a common cold in strength.
I know, but what you've got to remember is that most people now have been vaccinated.
Yes, so even more reason not to worry about it. If the
people who aren't vaccinated are in the hospital.
Yeah, but the point is, it's causing. It's not a strong strain. It's not it shouldn't be a problem. We shouldn't have all this extra locking down like they're doing in Germany and all that, where they're playing behind closed doors. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying, but you've got to be careful because there's still a lot of countries, especially African countries, who are only 3%. Vaccinated some of the African countries.
Yeah, but they've said that it doesn't work against the Omicron anyway, so what difference does that make? Let's be honest.
Well, they don't know. They don't know, to be honest with you, because the people who have got Omicron, a lot of them are in hospital who haven't been vaccinated. 90% of them in Britain, anyway, I'm going on, who are ill in hospital, haven't been vaccinated. And so Omicron is going to get to them if they don't get vaccinated. That's all I'm saying. But I think it's going to affect football as much as anything else. This closing down of the borders and all that. And in Germany, especially, as you said before.
Yeah, this
stuff giving me question, man.
Cancel the AFCON and do us all a favour. Versus Salah and Mane, don't go away. I'm quite happy for them to. I'm quite happy for them to close the borders if it means that Manny and Salah stay out.
Yeah, I'm sure you won't be.
Please. Yeah.
How do you think that'll go, Chess? How do you think that'll go?
Well,
do you think that they'll go to the AFCON?
They won't have a choice if they're called up. This is the thing. Unless they personally reject it, which is an issue because They have to, literally. You can have an argument that FIFA can ban them for however many days if, like, say, Egypt complains because Salah doesn't go. Though Egypt are doing all right in the Arab Cup last I looked, they were doing really well, even though they're using the home base team with none of their big names in, and they're playing really well by all accounts. They were brilliant the game I saw. So
you're going to want your best players there, aren't you? You're going to want your best players. All nations want the best players, obviously, because they want to try and win the AFCON.
Well, if you've got the best player in the world, you don't want to leave him behind, do you?
Of course, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, you want Salah there if you're Egyptian, don't you? You really do. And I want him to go. I've got to be honest with you.
I bet Man City and Chelsea are praying he goes.
Billy, you've got Egyptian roots, haven't you?
Yeah. What, mate?
No, he just hasn't dyed his hair for a while. Start what you call Greece in 2000, isn't it, Bill?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's the one. Just for men.
Just for men, yeah.
Maybe Billy has Egyptian wool.
I do, yeah.
Egyptian cotton, maybe? No, that's too expensive for Billy.
Nope.
Too classy. Too classy. You don't do stuff like that, do you, Bill? Class. No.
I used to, don't know.
No, you never. Your missus did, and you just were along for the ride, let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's most of us, actually, to be fair.
He'll be a big miss for Egypt, though, won't he, Salah, if he doesn't go. And the same with Ed Manny. There'll be big misses for them. But I know Liverpool fans aren't bothered. But going back to the Omicron, I think it's in jeopardy, the AFCON. Myself, personally. I think it's in big jeopardy.
That's the only way I can see those two not going, is if the AFCON's cancelled. And there is a very real possibility of that.
I think so.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rob?
Well, as a Liverpool fan, you obviously don't want them to go because, we're hitting that vital point in the season where we're starting to come good again. We're playing good, even though we had a bit of a slip up not long ago. But depending on obviously what's going on with the Omicron variant, safety and all that thing does have to come first, other than football. So it's again hard to call, but they're going to have to come to a time where they do make a decision on what they're going to do. And yeah, as a Liverpool fan, I kind of hope it is called off because I wouldn't want those two going away for too long.
Yeah.
Right, go on to the next one.
Yeah. What do you think, Baz?
Oh, absolutely what Rob said. As a Liverpool fan, definitely don't want Mo going away for too long. But if
You're
the numbers start going... Sorry?
Bit quiet, bit louder, mate.
Oh, sorry. With the numbers going, if the numbers start going through the roof, like sports comes second, you have to, it's going to have to be called off.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Do you think it will
safety
be?
First. If the numbers start going up, yes, they have. I don't think they have a choice. They have to. At the end of the day, it's only a football tournament. People's lives are more important.
Ooh,
yeah,
hang on. Oh, careful what you say here, Bazza. Depends on which people we're talking about. Some of us don't have a life, mate.
I thought you were going to say Billy doesn't have much time left.
Good point. I mean, there's no point worrying about his time, his safety, is there?
No. The last time we gone, hey, hurry up, lads, I don't have much time left.
Yeah, exactly, we don't need to worry about his safety. He'll be gone soon anyway.
Yeah, absolutely I will.
He was just playing for sympathy, I think, myself.
But do you guys even know where the AFCON is being held?
Cameroon.
Oh, why did you have to ruin it, Chris?
Sorry, just
I was sure there were
Just showing
some of
off.
us who actually didn't even know when it was happening.
Yeah, Cameroon, Seamus. Cameroon, it's on.
see, he knew. It wasn't because he just heard me say it all.
But there won't be many supporters, will there, at AFCON? I wouldn't think. They wouldn't be travelling country to country.
The
Not many, I would
Cameroonians will
think.
be packed it, mate. The Cameroonians will pack it
Yeah,
out.
the Cameroonians will be packing it out. But the other teams who travel, usually travel to AFCON, won't be having many supporters, if any. And so I don't think it'll be worth them doing it financially, I'm talking about. It might be come down to that, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. The finances might make it not worthwhile for them. Though TV coverage probably is the big thing.
Yeah.
It usually is,
Is
isn't it, these days?
Roger Melia playing for Cameroon?
Sorry, what'd you say?
Is Roger Melia still playing for Cameroon?
He's the same age as Billy, for God's sake. No, he's not still playing for them.
I like them. He's a good player.
He's a good dancer as well.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing I remember about him most, is him dancing with the corner flag.
He was still playing when he was about 50, wasn't he?
Well, that's when he was about 44 when he went the first time. This is the thing. He had a fake passport. He was dodgy. He was about they were saying he was like in his late 30s or something, and he was 40 odd. And then he went to his second one.
Yeah, Yakubu was the same, wasn't he?
Oh, Yakubu was about 85 when he joined Everton, wasn't he? Played like it anyway. Should we move on to the last piece of news, though, anyway?
Go on, mate.
I think the last thing we got to mention is the Lyon getting, where Payet played against them for Marseille, and he was going to take a corner, got hit by a bottle thrown from the crowd. And Lyon have been deducted 1 point for the game being cancelled, because of it, being postponed.
Big wow.
Exactly.
That's just a disgrace, isn't it? It is a
Wasn't it
disgrace.
Dimitri Payet again who got hit?
Yeah, I know, it's the second time, isn't it? The first time he threw it back and, caused a riot. So at least he's learning his lesson. Because he got a big fine. And Nice, who were the team it happened the first time, they actually got deducted 2 points, but one was suspended. So 1 actual point unless there's another incident. But it's ridiculous.
Do you remember when Jamie Carragher did that?
No, it was a coin he threw back.
It was a coin. That was against Arsenal.
Yeah, but he was just throwing it back to see if they'd play him a tune because they were so quiet.
I thought he was looking for change. I thought he was going to throw back 75p.
He's not a two scouts to give him back the full money, is he? Let's be honest. We don't give money back, do we, Easy Bill?
No, we don't.
Free stuff we don't give back. If it's given to us free, we just have it. It doesn't matter what it is. We don't even wait to see what it is. If it's free, what is it? You ask what it is after you've got it, don't you, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely you do.
I've walked 30 miles for a free meal, me.
I wouldn't go that far.
I might be exaggerating slightly. But it cost me more in shoe leather, though, probably. Than the yeah. Oh yeah, isn't Zach? Is Zach?
Sail. S-A-I-L.
What? What's going on here? Is Bazza doing teaching on the side or something?
Yeah.
How did you know?
If you're tutoring kids, we've got no chance of this. The future generations are lost all the time. Oh my god. Oh, we should just get that now. The world's going to end in a fireball in about 10 years' time when your kids get old enough.
I'm teaching him the ropes. He'll be fine. He'll do well in life.
Yeah, as well as you, is that?
Yeah.
You're doing so well, you're on this frigging pod, so obviously you're not doing that well, You've sunk about as low as you can get, let's be honest.
Right, let's get on to predictions, Tris.
Oh, you're excited about this, aren't you, Bill? You dropped
I
back.
am, yeah.
Unfortunately, you dropped back a bit at the weekend.
And we never done it last week.
Yeah, we never did it last week, but I mean last week's lot.
Oh, yeah.
Going into it, because obviously there was 2 lots of fixes, because it was midweek games the last time we did it.
Yeah.
Going into it, you were on 45. Deeps was on 45, Seamus as well. Rob was on 33 and Abid was on 17. By the end of it, Seamus is on 54. You're now on 51. Rob's on 41. And Abid's on 26. So
Rob's doing very well. Rob's coming right up on the rails here.
Well, I haven't done much in the last couple of weeks.
It won't last. Let's be honest. Not unless
it was actually Chris going 1-1. 1-1 for every game. While
he was away. Yeah. That's true. Me and Bazza helped him out, let's be honest.
Thanks, fellas.
Yeah, because Bazza picked most of them, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bazza.
You'll have to do Abid this week, I'm afraid, Bazza. Not literally do him, just do his predictions. I didn't want to make you feel sick about it or anything.
Be a brave man doing Abid.
He'd enjoy it anyway. So we'll start then. We'll get started on this because Brentford versus Watford's the first game of the weekend. So Abid, Bazza, you're first.
Brentford, 3-1.
3-1 to Brentford.
Yeah.
And
who's home? Who's home again?
Who's what?
Who's home again?
Oh, for God's sake. And you're teaching these kids. Fucking hell. In football, Bazza, there's a clue in that the first one said, they list it, the first team is the home team, and the away team said afterwards, because that's listed afterwards. So when I said Brentford versus Watford, there's a clue.
I think he's just doing an Abid.
I'm yanking your chain.
He doesn't know, let's be honest. He's new to this. He's teaching kids, for God's sake. This is what's worrying.
I don't even know who he is. I just found him outside and I took him in.
Is he also called Seamus?
I bet half the time they aren't even your own kids, are they?
No, not really. I'm just hoping to don't bring everybody in.
You started off with just 2 kids, now you've got 12.
Yeah, that was about 10 years ago.
I tell you what, my parents would have loved you because they'd have just moved while I was staying at yours. Again.
Right, who's next?
Rob. I'm waiting for Rob to say. We've already got. It's just waiting for Robert.
I'll go Brentford. For Brentford Watford, I'll go 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. That's what I was doing last week.
Mine will be Brentford 2, Watford 1. They might get a lucky goal, but Brentford will beat them, and quite comfortably as well.
The worst team in Premier League history to score.
Playing the worst team in the history of football, yeah.
Yeah. And then Seamus. I'm going to have to change yours. I've got it down as a D. I'm going to have to change it to an S so I know who you are.
Go for a boring 0-0. Nobody ever goes for 0-0.
No, that's true actually. I don't think anybody has gone for 0-0 since we've been doing this.
I can 0-0, yeah, good one.
Right, Man City versus Wolves is next up.
And it's back.
Yeah, 3-0 City, sorry. 3-0 City.
You said Wolves then. I was thinking that's a bit bloody optimistic. I hope you're right, but Robbie...
Man City 2, Wolves 0.
2-0. And Bilbo?
I'm going for a 0-0 draw.
Well,
I think it's going to be very Liverpool-esque. I think Wolves are not a bad side. don't score a lot of goals, but I think it might be a 0-0.
Right.
I hope you're right.
Seamus?
For a 2-1 victory for Man City.
Who's... Oh, Baz is talking to the kids again. Sorry. I'm confused. Sorry, Seamus, it's really difficult to tell because you've both got a voice about the same age. You know, you sound about the same age, so I wasn't sure which one of you was talking then. Could you tell me the score again?
Man City.
Sorry? I missed that.
2-1 Man City.
2-1. 2-1 Man City. It's really difficult. I wish your balls had hurry up and drop so we can hear you properly. Sorry, Bazza.
Yeah. Who's next?
Arsenal, Southampton.
Ooh, let me see. 2-2.
2-2. And Roberto?
I'll go a 1-1 draw for that one.
1-0 again. And Bilbo?
Again.
I'm going for a little Arsenal 2-1 win. Get back on the horse and save Arteta's job. 2-1 to her.
He's a bit like Ole, isn't he, in that respect? They seem to pick up a few results just as he's on the verge of the sack. Seamus?
I think it's gonna be a 0-1 victory to Southampton, just so that it makes Ian a little more happier.
Yeah, he'd be glad if Arteta goes, wouldn't he? Bless him.
Yeah.
Though I'd miss his whines on the widget. When you get talking, when you mention Arteta, when he gets ranting about Arteta, some of them are quite funny, isn't they? Well,
yeah.
Oh, we should put them on the site, really. They're missing out, the poor buggers, not reading them. Sorry, anyway, I'll digress. We'll go to Chelsea Leeds is next. So, who is it that's doing Abid's Buzzer? Oh, your kids. Is it your kids that are doing the scores? You may as well get your kids to do it. They'll probably do a better job.
Just say Bab instead of Abid. Right, I'm going to go 2-2 draw.
Ooh, big shout, that one.
Yeah.
Bobby?
Chelsea 2, Leeds 1.
And Bilbo Baggins?
Chelsea, a very, very easy win. 3-0. Romelu Lukaku bagging a brace.
Chelsea fans are complaining about him. So.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Seamus?
1 to Chelsea. Rafinha with a consolation goal for Leeds.
Sorry, 2-1 did you say?
3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
Right. What's next? Liverpool Villa's next.
I'm going to go 3-1.
3-1. Bobby?
3-0.
3-0. Bilbo?
I think Gerrard might have a little bit more to say than what you think. I'm expecting a 2-1 win to Liverpool with Gerrard putting up a really good show, his team putting up a really good show.
Yeah, you do know he can't play, don't you, Bill?
I know he's not playing, but he's still a manager. He's going out from saying the matter, and I think it's going to be a 2-1 win to Liverpool.
Just checking.
He'll sit inside his Mars bar packet.
Yeah.
Seamus.
Play this one tactically and go for 2-1 victory to Liverpool as well.
Oh, he's just matching you up, Bill, to stay ahead, you see.
Yeah,
this is tactical thinking now. He's just thinking if he just gives the same results as you for every game, you can't possibly overtake him. Yeah, it's cheating.
I know, yeah, it's an Allah's trick, that, isn't it?
That's bad, that is. Poor sportsmanship, I think. We'll have to deduct him some points for that. Maybe 4. Habit.
The only one I'm getting.
Oh,
That's the
Norwich.
only way I'm getting caught.
Oh. Well, yeah, if you're given the same score, he can't catch you, can he? Right, Norwich faces Man U. Bazza.
Buzzard.
Ooh, I'm going to wash it. I'm going to wash my mouth out with soap after
Bazza's
this,
kids,
but
sorry. I should have said.
yeah.
What score
Who's
did
gonna
they
win,
tell you
Jim?
to give?
Who?
The kids, what score did they tell you to give?
Yeah, United's playing Norwich. Who's going to win? Norwich. He's saying Norwich.
I like your kids.
Oh,
They're better than
So
you. Can
I'm
we get them on instead?
so he's. I'm going to say 1-0 to Norwich because of my son.
Oh. Why don't we just give him the headphones? Let's have him on. He'll have much more insight than you. How old is he?
6.
Oh, he'll have much more insight than you. It'd be much better. Put him on.
Oh, put like this. He's the brains of the family.
Oh, I can believe that. Rob.
Norwich 0, Manchester United 2.
Ooh. And Bilbo?
Norwich 0, Manchester City 4.
Manchester City, bloody hell, they got...
Sorry, Manchester United. Manchester United 4.
Yeah. That would have been a difficult game. They got to play Man United and Man City.
It would, yeah. 4-0 to Manchester United.
I always feel it's a bit... Sorry. I was just going to say, I always feel it's a bit unfair when teams have to play Brighton and Hove Albion at the same time.
Good point. Good point.
Oh, shit.
Sorry. Seamus. Old joke, but it's a good one, isn't it?
It's gonna be a comfortable win for Ragnick's Manchester United, and they're gonna beat Norwich by 4 goals to 1.
Oh, I thought he was going to copy me
He
there.
was going to, but he thought he'd be sly.
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he chickened out at the last minute, Billy.
Yeah.
I think he did, yeah.
He didn't want to have points deducted, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Right, Brighton
Or
versus...
maybe I don't have confidence in Maguire to keep a clean sheet.
That's probably a fair point as well.
Yeah.
Brighton versus Spurs.
Oh,
Bazza.
I'm going to
As his kids.
1-1 draw.
That's not what he's saying. I can hear him. He's not saying 1-1. Don't override him. He knows more than you. Robbie?
I know. I can't give him confidence at this age.
Yeah, you have to destroy it at that age, don't you?
Yeah.
Prepare them for life ahead.
You better believe it.
Rob?
I'm going with Brighton 2, Tottenham 1.
Ooh. Bilbo?
I'm with Bazza there. I think a 1-1 draw. I don't think Brighton are firing on all cylinders at the moment. I think Maupay to get equaliser in the 89th minute.
100th minute.
They did last week, yeah? 100 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. The Brighton Spurs game might not even be played yet. Remember, they've got like 13 players.
Oh, yeah?
They've got what, 8
Bloody
players?
hell, Chris!
I forgot all
That
about
was gonna be my prediction. That was gonna be my prediction that the game was gonna be called off.
Ah, I see, yeah. I want that.
I'd forgotten until Stephen Leggett just said on the chat.
I know, but it's 13 people involved with the club. They're not all players, you know.
8 of them are players,
8 are players.
though. 8 of them are players, and maybe there might be more
Yeah,
cases by
they're
the.
getting more by the day. That's why they cancelled
Yeah.
the, called off
Hopefully
the game.
The Euro, Conference
They
League
don't-
game.
That's it.
They don't do the idiotic thing that the Portuguese did the other week.
Yeah, just turn up with 9 players and play the first half.
Yeah.
I wonder why they're 7-0 down. Then come out with just 7 for the second half, and one pretends to be injured, so they get it called off. Could be an interesting game, though. So that's your prediction, is it, Deeps, that the game gets cancelled?
Now I have to give a scoreline because
I'm
you
going to say,
already
because you don't
said
get
it.
any frigging points for that, you know.
1-1. 1-1 for that game.
Oh, he's copying me again.
I know, it's cheating. Cheating.
Oh no, but
Then we're going to
the
have to
reality,
deduct points.
Brighton
No, we're
are-
going to have to deduct points. That's all there is to it. Can't have this kind
Brighton
of cheating. This is
masters-
bad sportsmanship.
Brighton are masters at getting a draw. They've not won since like God knows how many months.
I think we're going to have to put this down as unsportsmanlike conduct and show him a red
Yeah,
card.
I think so. Certainly a yellow. Certainly a yellow.
I
There
think
you go.
I think 4 points is a bit low. I think we're going to have to deduct
Sir.
15.
Myself and Rob can be the disciplinary panel.
Yeah.
Guilty.
You need 3 on the panel, so Bilbo will have to jump on as well.
Yeah, do a derby on deducting loads of points.
Deducting pints on Seamus, sorry.
I reckon 54 would do it.
Yeah. I second that. Rob,
Yep, I'm third.
right, motion. Sorry, Seamus.
He'd cry if that happened. He says he don't care, but he does. We know he does.
Of course he does.
Oh, we know it. It bothers him. He loves it being ahead. It's the only thing he's ever won in his life. Sorry,
Right,
sorry,
next game.
Seamus.
That would be very true.
Burnley. I forgot. Where were we? Right. Burnley versus Hammers.
Yeah, Burnley 2-1.
To Burnley
Yeah.
versus West Ham, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Bold prediction, but he's just doing this because he knows Abbott isn't gonna catch me anyways. He's taking it seriously.
Harsh. Right, yeah,
But
see, I think Steve's right. I think from next week, Deep's going to have to go first. We're going to start with the one in the lead and go through after, downwards.
Yeah, you're right there, yeah.
Just can't have him cheating like this every week. Bobby?
No.
I'm going to go a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Though we'll probably just look over your shoulders to see what you've written down. Billy?
Right. This is going to be a 2-0 win to West Ham, and one of the easiest 2-0 wins you'll ever see. Burnley are a very poor side, and they're in free fall at the moment. And West Ham are still a very good side, and they're going to win 2-0.
They have got a lot of injuries to defenders, huh? And
They're still
thanks
too
for
good
the.
for Burnley.
By the way, Steve, thanks for the idea of making Deeps go first. You're right. It was him that suggested it. It was clever, good thinking. Sorry. Anyway, Seamus.
Going for a easy 2-1 victory for West Ham.
He's done again. Deducting more points.
He's gonna get a lifetime ban for match fixing.
Yeah,
Seamus,
I went for
Seamus, you're now
2-1,
you're
not
minus
2-0.
We can't have this. It's cheating. Leicester.
No,
versus
he's minus now.
It's mind games.
How
I think.
is it cheating?
It's
How
mind
is it
games. It's
cheating?
mind games.
It's
Come
not
on.
cheating, no.
We know what you're doing, Seamus.
Yeah, but I went for 2-1. He went for 2-0. Completely different
Oh
scoreline.
yeah, completely different. Because the easiest 2-0, 2-1. Oh wait, I'm not sure.
Gamesmanship, it's called. Gamesmanship.
Unsportsmanlike conduct for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Could be a lifetime ban from the sport, you know, here. Leicester versus Newcastle.
Draw. I'm going to go for a draw, hopefully, to knock their confidence because I'm going over for the game the following week.
Right.
Yeah, but what's the score?
1-1.
1-0. And whose confidence do you want knocked? I'm confused.
Newcastle.
I don't think they've got much yet, but yeah.
No.
Who's next? Bobby Brown Shoes.
Rob.
Bobby Brown Shoes says Leicester 1-0 over Newcastle.
Bilbo?
I'm going Leicester 2-0. I think they've got to get back on the bus shortly because otherwise Brendan's going to be in a bit of trouble. They've got to start winning a few games.
I think they are already.
2-0. And Newcastle, I know they had a bit of a win last week, his first win, but they're not a good side and they're going to lose 2-0. So it's 2-0 to Leicester.
Steve says you're bringing the pod into disrepute, Deep. So if you could just give a proper score this time and not just drop a Billy, please.
2-1. I was genuinely gonna go for 2-0 before Billy said it.
Right. Of course you were. Am I the only one who doesn't believe him?
Yeah, no, you're not.
Palace versus Everton's next.
Oh, I will go for 2-1 to Everton.
Really?
Oh, that's a big shout. That.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bobby with his brown shoes on.
I'm going to stick with the winning
Unless
formula.
his missus has bought him the new ones he was after.
She better by Christmas time.
Yeah.
I'll stick with the winning formula and play 1-1.
1-1. Right. Bilbo?
And I'm gonna copy Rob here and a 1-1 draw.
Well, yeah, this is catching. This is. What do you mean, lad? Seamus? Come on, you need to apologise. If only the pod had any repute to begin with, he's just said. That's harsh, mate. That's really harsh. We had lots of repute, then Abid came on board, and it's all gone downhill since then. Sorry, Deeps, go on, Palace Everton.
2-2.
A draw, yeah?
We That's it. It's it. It's the final straw, that is. Right, we need to go on to the midweek games now.
All right, come on.
So it's Brentford again starting this set off, but this time against Man U. So we'll do it the other way round. No, we'll do it the other way round this time, so Deeps can stop cheating.
Yeah, go on, Seamus.
And we'll go, and you'll be last this time, Bazza.
Dead on. Okay.
Before I give my predictions for this game, I'm gonna explain why I said Palace are gonna draw. The reason is they've only won 3 games all season, despite all the praise Vieira has had. They don't actually win many games. Back to Brentford versus Manchester United, I'm gonna predict a 2-1 victory for Manchester United.
You actually make a very good point there about Palace. I don't understand why Vieira's getting so much praise, because I don't see anything special.
They only won 3 games.
Yeah, and to me, it reminds me of when Roberto Martinez, speaking of Bobby Brown shoes, took over at Everton. He took over a really defensively solid team, and at first it looked good because they were playing, still had the defensive solidness left over from left over from the Moyes era, and he just brought a bit more attack to them, and it worked at first, but over time it gradually got exposed because they didn't drill defensively. And I think that's the same with what's happening with Palace, is that they'll be fine for this season, but by the end of the season, cracks are going to show, and next season they're going to struggle badly, I think. That's how I see it.
That's exactly what I think is happening with Leicester. They're losing all the defensive solidarity they had under Puel.
Yeah. Totally agree. You can see it happening. They play terrible. They're defensively. They're so bad under Rodgers now. Sorry. Anyway, Brentford Man U, Billy.
Brentford Man U is a 2-2 draw. Entertaining game. Manchester United not at the best. Brentford getting a little bit of form back. 2-2 draw.
Right. That'll be a big result if it happens. And
Yeah.
I've just realised I've written it down as 2-1 to Brentford. Deep one. It's probably the only way he'd stand a chance of winning, though, really, isn't it? I'm obviously, that's why he's on top, you see. I must have written down all his scores the wrong way round. Rob?
Brentford 1, Man United 2.
Brentford, what's he?
Oh,
Who's copying
he's
now?
copying
Hey,
the
come on! Sorry, Bazza. Sorry, Bazza.
Yeah, as my dad said, draw.
Yeah, but what score? You can't just say a draw. What, you're not having... If it's any draw in existence, you can't just have...
Was he a gunslinger? Your dad, was he a gunslinger? Draw.
Two on.
Oh, we've got another spammer in the chat. We really have made it today, I tell you. We've had 2 spammers in the live chat. We're like big time now. 2-2, yeah. So you copy Billy.
Yeah.
I am.
This is really getting bad. See what you've started now, Seamus. You've ruined it now. Maybe we should have made a rule where nobody could have the same scores. just to stop people doing that. Well, Norwich versus Villa.
Gonna be Dean Smith against his old team. So maybe it's gonna be a feisty 2-2 draw.
2-2. And Bilbo?
And Villa to win 2-0 quite comfortably. Norwich heading back down again, and they're going to finish bottom of the league if Watford pick up at any. So it's a 2-0 win to Villa for me.
You're a big fan of Steven Gerrard's management then, Bill?
He's going to do all right initially. A bit like Vieira, he's going to do all right and then he'll fall to bits when the Mars bar starts melting.
Oh, bless. That's a good... Yeah, and that's the summer though, isn't it, there?
Yeah.
So Roberto's next.
Norwich City 1, Aston Villa 3.
1, Aston Villa 3. And Bazit.
3-1 as well to 3-1 to Villa.
Oh, another copycat.
God, it's getting bad here, I tell you. None of you got an original thought in your head, that's the problem.
If you want to copy, at least copy from the lad that's topping the league.
I know, you
Yeah. Oh, he won't be for long.
God, he's a big head, isn't he, hey?
Yeah, no blame.
He's got so arrogant since he's gone top, I tell you. He gone to his head or what? Friggin' hell, we'll be calling him Mars Bar next. God sake. Right, move on. Somebody keep his, somebody make sure they widen the doorway so he can get his head through it on the way out. What? Man City versus Leeds.
Next up, I'm going for a 3-0 victory for Man City, sadly.
Right.
I'm going for a 2-0 win to Man City. Quite comfortable game. And Jesus to get the winner, to get the final goal in the 78th minute.
Right, very specific. Do I need to write this down? Do you get?
No, you don't have to write that down.
You're not getting any extra points for it,
I'm trying to read the game, how it's going to go.
Just checking. Just checking you don't think you'll get an extra point for this colour you're giving.
No, I don't need extra points.
Don't you? Right.
No.
Okay. Everton do. But yeah.
Don't they do?
Yeah, Rob, sorry. Sorry, Bill, that was uncalled. That was nasty. Below the belt, that you know. I mean, it was like mentioning you only got 18 points like Liverpool in the Champions League again. But I don't want to go there because I've said that already.
Yes, it don't.
So I won't. Don't worry. Rob?
Man City 3, Leeds 0.
Someone's being smart now.
Bazit?
3-1 to City.
All right.
Almost went for 3-0 there.
Almost.
Right, next one is Brighton versus Wolves.
And again, Brighton know how to draw a game.
Right. So you'll go 1-1 again, yeah? Is it 1-1 you went last time?
Yeah, for Brighton, yeah.
Yeah, Brighton Spurs, you went 1-1. So you go... In fact, pretty much everyone apart from Rob went 1-1 for that one. Brighton Spurs, I mean. Brighton Wolves, this is. So, Billy?
I'm going for a sneaky little 1-0 win for Brighton. I think Wolves are still struggling to score, and I think Brighton need to get a win on the board after the draws that they're having. So, a 1-0 sneaky little win.
Interesting.
Brighton.
So you thought they'd hold City, but not Brighton.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope you're right.
That's why he's on top.
Yeah. Rob.
I'm going to copy Dipsy Whipsy and say 1-1.
Oh. I wouldn't copy him. He doesn't know what he's doing. Bazit, what do the kids think?
I'm going to go 2-0 to Brighton.
Is that what the little man told you to say?
Exactly.
Good, because we want the intelligent people on here.
Yeah, I thought so as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of insight could be in. We should have got him on earlier when we were doing the news. He might have been able to offer some decent insight.
He can tell you what's popular on Peppa Pig, if that's any good.
That's better than the frigging start where we had cricket. They were talking about the bloody Ashes for an hour.
Oh no! Thank God I missed out.
I was making a cup of tea. I was in the other room, left them to it.
Oh.
Sorry, what were we? Sorry, mate.
You've just done that. You've just done them scores.
Didn't mean to speak over you then, Bazza. Actually, I did.
No, what? You did. I'm used to it by now, Tris. It's just like it must be just like talking to your missus, mustn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk.
Only she has a deeper voice.
And knows more about football. Burnley Watford, Seamus.
0-0.
8-0?
0-0.
You really, you're very quiet, Deeps.
No.
0-0.
Yeah, I heard what you said, but I just wanted you to get closer to the mic so people at home listening can hear you as well. If there's anybody listening, there is. Bloody hell, we got six people at once. Jeez, I think that might be a record. Though I've got to say 4 of them are probably the spammers. Sorry, Bilbo.
The other 2 are you and me. The other 2 are you and me.
No, I don't count because I'm the hosting thing. I'm on as the host. So it's you and 5 others. And 4 of them are spammers.
I'm going a 1-1 draw. 2 poor sides both get a goal. A scrappy goal each.
You're not copying Deeps there, are you, by going for a draw?
No, mine's 1-1.
Right.
He's going for a boring 0-0. It won't be boring. It'll just be crap. That's it.
What's the difference of boring and crap, Billy?
Well,
the
it's
spelling.
just two hopeless teams. Yeah, the spelling is right.
Just they'll describe it differently on Match of the Day as well. That'll set them apart. Right,
Oh,
Rob?
brilliant. Brilliant.
Burnley 2, Watford 0.
All right.
Well, they are the worst team in the world, Watford, ever.
They are the worst team in the world, yeah.
Yeah, we've established that. It's official.
Yeah. Once they thrash Everton, they must be crap.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, sorry, lads.
He's waiting
yeah,
for
it's
the
going to
kids
be a
to
hard.
tell him.
Hang on, he's getting his crayons out.
If he's like you, he'll be eating them first.
No, he actually hides them up my nose.
Must be just like the old days for you being back at school, really.
Yeah, I agree with Billy. Horrible, two horrible teams. Yeah, a stupid 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
1-1 draw. Right.
Yeah.
Palace, Southampton. Sorry.
What's the difference between a boring 0-0, a crap 1-1, and a stupid 1-1?
Again, the spelling.
No, but they're just two bad teams. They're just, yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
you'll be sitting up to watch it, are you?
No. I'll be doing the painting, even if I've no painting to do. I'll still do it.
Yeah.
I'll be watching it dry.
Yeah,
Or at least it'll feel like that watching the game.
yeah. They're just two bad teams.
What's the next one, Chris?
Investment. Sorry, Palace versus Southampton next.
Oh, Palace, Southampton.
1-1.
1-1. Right. You're not going to tell us how boring or stupid or crap this one's going to be then?
Oh, that's what Billy does. That's for Billy.
No, he has to tell us the difference between a crap, stupid and boring one.
It's going to be a half-decent game, yes, but not a lot of goals. It's going to be Palace 0, Southampton are going to get a winner late on. 1-0 to Southampton.
Right. Boberto?
I think it's going to be the opposite. I think Gallagher's going to pop up and it's going to be Crystal Palace 1-0 over Southampton.
Oh,
right.
That sounds like fighting talk, that. Bazit?
Yeah, a very intellectual 1-1 draw.
I like it, Baz. That's quote of the day, that is quote of the day, that, buddy.
God, I'd love to see them explain what an intellectual draw was on Match of the Day. Can you imagine Gary Lineker trying to explain that one? Christ, Alan Shearer doesn't even know how to spell intellectual. Arsenal versus Hammers is next.
Call it a derby, but I think it's gonna be spanking 2-0 to West Ham.
2-0 to West Ham.
No, it's gonna be a spanking 2-0 to West Ham.
Spanking 2-0.
Sorry, spanking 2-0. I need to spell spanking. Is this like something you learnt off Rob?
That's a very
Maybe
low
a bit.
scoring spanking, Seamus.
He's really lowering the tone tonight, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been highbrow. We've been highbrow for years and known for our highbrow, intelligent, intellectual conversations on here. And we bring him on board and he just ruins it for us. Cheats. Brings the conversation down to spanking.
My prediction is a hard-fought 2-1 win to West Ham. Arsenal are trying to get back into winning ways, but just not good enough towards a hard-working David Moyes side. 2-1 West Ham.
Right. And Bobby?
Arsenal 1, West Ham 3.
Ooh.
And then Bazid.
Oh, go on. Just to be different, which isn't like me, 2-1 to Arsenal.
All right, yeah. Possibilities.
Leicester versus Spurs. Are you there, Seamus?
No.
Have you gone off with the salt because they said you'd lowered the tone?
He's lowered his knife.
Or is he spanking something?
Opus on a monkey.
Seamus?
Yeah, 2-2.
2-2, right.
Oh.
Bilbo?
Leicester, after a good win at the weekend, will come back with another 2-0 win for Leicester. It's a run of form, Leicester.
Okay. Robbie?
1-1 draw for me.
1-1 draw. And Bazid, whatever. Whoever it
I
is,
think Tottenham.
kids.
I think Tottenham will win 2-0.
All right.
Yeah, Billy. I don't think Rodgers is. I think he's on a slippery slope at Leicester.
Yeah, but I think they're going to win on Saturday. I told you that. They're going to win on Saturday. And midweek, they're going to carry it through to get a bit of confidence. And they're going to save his job.
Yeah, I don't think they will be like when Liverpool would. When it fell off
Yeah.
the cliff, it fell.
Yeah, big time. I agree.
Yeah.
And then he threw Colin Pascoe under the bus.
Oh, didn't he just? Oh,
That's
his
unreal.
best mate. I mean, that's just.
Great
Yeah.
character, Brendan.
Yeah, that says it
Did
all,
him and
doesn't it?
Did him and Pascoe ever they're total? That's gone now, isn't it?
Yeah, they've not worked together since. Well, would you work with
That's
him
right.
again? Let's
No.
be honest.
No.
Well,
No.
that's your
And he
best mate.
got your man Sean O'Driscoll.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where did he come? Where did he come from? Never heard of him.
Really?
Charlton.
Oh, he was at Doncaster when I lived in Doncaster, and he was an excellent manager there. Really
Right.
good coach, really good coach. But he's the problem is he lacks charisma, so it doesn't work like as in, when he's working with these big ego players, he couldn't manage them, if you see what I mean. As a coach, he's really good, but he's just, he hasn't got that leadership thing, so he's much better as an assistant. He's really good because he's a really nice guy, and he works really hard on things like communication and things like that, which is something Liverpool could do with now, really, to be honest, is working on that at the back. It's one of the things he's most keen on and stuff like that. He's honestly really good, nice guy as well. Yeah,
Wasn't he the one that brought over? He told us to sign Joe Gomez from Charlton as well.
Yes. No, that was Kenny. Kenny Dalglish went and got Joe Gomez.
Mm.
So, they did speak about it before he got him. But anyway, yeah, sorry. Chelsea versus Everton next. So how many Chelsea going to win by then?
It's gonna be a comfortable 2-0 victory to Chelsea.
Just 2? God. You're brave, Deeps. Bilbo?
I'm going for a 2-1. I think Damari will get us to 1-0 and they'll sneak it late on. Chelsea. So 2-1 for me.
2-1 to Everton, you say?
Pardon?
2-1 to Everton, you say?
Oh, no, I'm saying 2-1 to Chelsea. But Damari to get the equaliser, but Chelsea to get the winner in the last 10 minutes.
You do realise that they're playing, Lukaku's a flat track bully. He'll be probably playing that one, and he'll be all right because he only doesn't turn up against the big clubs. So against the little clubs like Everton, he'll probably score a hat trick, I reckon.
He won't.
Yeah.
He won't. He'll be marshalled by Keane. Keane knows his game.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that'll really worry him. A man who's half his speed, half his size, half his weight. He'll ragdoll him around all game. It'll be funny, that. You need, you might have Mina back, who's slower than a week in jail. Well, could be all over there. Lukaku just run straight past him. Not that I'm trying to cheer you up here, Bill. This was me trying to cheer you up. Make you think you have a chance by Mina being back, and then I thought, no, he's slow. He's so slow. God, Lukaku would destroy him. Sorry. Godfrey's decent, though. Anyway, Robbie.
Sorry, Bill. 3-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, it could well be.
And Bazid, what did the kids say?
2-2
Two all. Sorry.
2-2. I like that, Barry. I like that very much.
Now, maybe we shouldn't have the kids on after all.
And we are used to doing favours for Liverpool, by the way. We do favours for Liverpool.
Other people have more faith in Everton than our own Evertonian here.
To be fair, if you'd been an Evertonian for 850 years, you wouldn't have much faith left either. That's the only thing they know is they're going to lose games for the season. So Liverpool-Newcastle is the final one.
It's going to be 4-0 victory to Liverpool.
4-0?
Mo Salah. No, 4-0.
So it's just at Anfield. There was 2 in a row, remember? 4-3. So, Billy?
I'm actually going with Deeps here. 4-0 win to Liverpool.
Nice. Okay, so last time you all went for Liverpool to win easily was the game against
Brighton.
was the game we lost. Oh God. Okay, Rob. Oh shit.
5-0.
Oh God.
5.
Oh God. Just talk about
We're gonna
Jonah jinxes the lot of you.
It's only Newcastle United, not Manchester United.
Yeah, that's true. These are much better than Man United and Ole, remember? So what did the kids say?
4-0. And just because I'm going, I'll give them the team talk. And just for me, it's 4-0.
And you're going to make sure they stop at 4 so Rob doesn't get the extra points. Is that what it is? Is that what your team talk is? Stop at 4 because you don't want Rob to win.
Yeah.
You'll see me coming on the pitch, standing in front.
Yeah, get the game called off if it goes to 5.
Just wait. It's wait and watch. Now it's just gonna be a draw. Because of
this is like you lot of freaking Jonas.
I don't think so myself, like.
No, the Liverpool defenders are gonna be so distracted by Baza's presence that Wilson is just gonna sneak past them.
What, the sun shining off his bald head, you mean? Blinds Allison because he won't wear a cap.
So team talk, because I wouldn't have a clue what I'm bloody saying, that's why.
Oh Christ, yeah, can you imagine it? Oh God. I don't have a clue what you're saying. That's
He would just be calling everyone Seamus.
Yeah.
He will.
Seamus O'Salleh, Seamus O'Malley. Hey you, Seamus. They'll all be like, ew, what?
Seamus Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Seamus Alexander Arnold. It's not TA, it's SA.
It's
oh, it was. So, right, that's it then. We've done all the things. Unless anybody's got any other business to come up with. Or has Billy got to get off to have his pizza?
I'm going off to have my tea now. I've got to go and cook the wife's tea. That's how good I am, isn't it?
You're cooking the wife's tea? Why? What's she done wrong?
I'm cooking the wife's tea.
What's she done
wrong? She
upset you?
No, she's having a rest. She allowed a rest. And I'm such a good husband that I'm going to actually cook the tea tonight.
What's for tea, Bill?
It's going to be,
Whatever it is, it'll be burnt.
It's barbecued ribs, and then it's chicken curry with fried rice.
Very
nice. Lovely. What time do you want me round at?
Go round about 8:30, buddy.
I'll see. I'll bring the bevies, Billy.
Okay, thanks, man. Right, boys, thanks very much. I shall see you next Thursday.
See you, Bill.
See you, Bill.
Boys.
Take
Thanks
care,
a
mate.
lot.
Take care.
See you,
Thursday, Bill.
See you, Billy.
Ta-ra.
Oh, where's the guitar outro?
Oh, no, he could have played us out, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Ah, he's rubbish. Let us down again.
Don't worry, we'll be able to hear him in about 10 minutes anyway, Tris.
Yeah, that's true. If we sit here a while, we'll hear him cooking. We'll just hear this crashing and banging and that, and let him swearing because he's burnt stuff. Or that might just be my cooking. And then it's where's the phone so I could get it delivered instead. No, I did beans on toast today. That's how adventurous my cooking is.
Ooh, fancy.
Hello. I like to do it with classy stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I put a bit of curry powder into the beans.
Oh, hang on, don't be doing stuff like that, Bazza. Come on.
Yeah, just a wee nip of curry powder.
You're a bit posh, you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
I don't even have curry powder. At the moment, I don't have much at all in the cupboards. It's literally a case of just bread and milk in the cupboards, pretty much, and just buying stuff to get through now.
Oh, so you're packing up, aren't you?
I'm pretty much packed up, to be honest. There's only really the computer out now, and
right,
a few,
really?
and clothes and just some clothes out and that. Everything else has been packed away.
Did anybody mention the passing of Ray Kennedy?
No, we didn't do that. We don't normally do the old obituaries because there's so many of them. Like, you'd be doing this, and you don't want to miss out. And if you miss someone, it could be seen as like you've forgotten someone, and you feel a bit like poor bastard who we missed out on. Like, not.
No. I was watching the program a long time ago, and they were talking about that semi-final against Bayern Munich when he scored the winner. And as the team were walking out, Bob Paisley tipped Sammy Lee on the shoulder and said, "Oh, by the way, your man Mark and Paul Brighton."
Yeah.
And I seen that program today on LFC TV when we were kings with Souness and Dalglish, and they brought up the same. He says, "Yeah, as they were walking out, Paisley tipped Sammy Lee," and he says that's all the tactics he ever did was basically, you know who you are, you know you're good enough, go out and play them, go out and beat them. And it was just so subtle. You're walking out of the dressing room, basically he's halfway out the door. "Oh, by the way, Sammy, man Mark, Paul Brighton," and that was it.
But he did do other stuff. That's not actually true, because he used to play things like he played a 4-3-3 a lot. People don't realise it. Fagan did as well. A similar system to the one we use now, but with Dalglish and often Craig Johnston on the other side, like.
Dalglish said in that same program as well. I don't know if you've ever seen it, lads. It's very good. That sometimes it would be either Paisley or Fagan would tell Kenny to drop back in the midfield away from home in Europe. Just play one up front.
Yeah.
Whereas then English clubs are only ever known as 4-4-2. That's what the English can't play any other system. But yet Liverpool were doing it.
Yeah, they used to change it all the time. Honestly, they played a lot of 4-3-3, a lot of 4-4, 4-4-1-1, 4-5-1. They varied it a lot. People think they played the same system all the time, but Paisley and Tatum both changed it loads. Yeah. Kennedy was some player as well, mind.
Unfortunately, I've never seen him.
I've only seen footage, but
Footage, yeah.
I've spoken to people who knew him. Like, who knew him as a player as well, and they raved about him.
That was some foresight to have by Bob Paisley to change him from a striker to left side midfield.
He wasn't working out as a striker, was he?
No, he came from Arsenal, did he? He was very popular in Arsenal.
Oh, he's a huge star. Well, he won the double with them.
That's right.
Yeah, and then he moves to Liverpool and wins a lot more.
And like as you say, becomes an even bigger hero.
Oh, he's fantastic. Didn't he win 3 European Cups?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that's some going, especially for a player whose career ends early due to illness. I mean,
where did he go? Was it Swansea?
Swansea, yeah, that was under John Toshack, wasn't it? He went to Swansea under John Toshack because he was buying up Liverpool players or bringing in Liverpool players.
Did Joey Jones go there?
Why
might Joey Jones? Oh, Wrexham. Sorry.
Oh, he came from Wrexham, didn't he?
Came from Wrexham.
Yeah, I thought he came from Wrexham. I can't remember now. God, that's way before my time, really. These. It's hard to remember. Seamus has gone quiet. I'm Rob.
I'm just listening to you guys.
We're both listening in.
I know, but it makes us
because
don't want to hog the conversation, like.
No, join in, lads.
It's hard to join in on conversations about things that happened before we were born.
Oh, somebody slapped him.
Even you guys are saying you didn't watch them.
He's saying we're old.
It's only clips.
Bazzy,
yeah,
he's saying
exactly.
we're old. What a bastard.
Yes, he really is. How?
Typical Aussie. They're just horrible people, they are, I tell you.
Oh,
Americans in training, I tell you. He's taken his training wheels off, obviously.
Yeah, I'm on my full license now.
I tell you, yeah, definitely. Gone on to the HGV license, you have. Full bore, mate, full bore. And that's a low blow, that is.
I'm sorry.
No need.
I'm sorry.
Bazza can't help it.
Neither can you.
I'm still young and beautiful, Deep. Still young and beautiful, mate.
Okay, I'll give it the young bit.
Nobody else would. Anything else, though, while we're on, before we run? Anything else? And no, that doesn't include the Ashes before you say it, Rob.
I was just a bit... No, I'm joking.
Deep should get too excited.
Like, I actually care. Maybe we can just mention Barca not managing to qualify out of the group at all.
Oh yeah.
Did anybody watch the game last night?
Sadly, no.
Not the Barca game.
I watched Bayern and Barcelona. Geez, not bad. Barcelona. They're poor.
Bayern are a good side, mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nobody in the stadiums. Have they gone down to lockdown?
Yeah, we talked about it before.
Yeah, they're not allowing anybody in because of this new variant, and they've got they're having a bit of a, an second wave or third wave or whatever it is.
Right. Okay. Have Barcelona money to spend, or are they completely broke?
They're going to sell players to have money, aren't they, to spend? So yeah, they've been raising money already. It's just they still have a huge debt, but they'll have cash to spend. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
like they say in the movies, the rich don't even get poor like us.
Mm.
Them
Yeah.
getting poor is different.
Yeah, they'll have £1 billion debt, but they'll still have money to spend. It makes no sense. It's like Trump.
Yeah.
How many times is he bankrupt and he was still able to spend huge sums of money? It's bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how it works, but I wish I could figure it out.
As Deep says, the difference is when we're broke, we're gone. Good luck. Yeah. When the rich are broke, they can still find a couple of $100 million in the back of the sofa.
Yeah.
Maybe it's down the back of Billy's sofa they're looking.
Oh,
That's been there so long, it will have probably sprouted a few $100 million.
I'd say he still has shillings or the big red. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're worth a lot of money these days, those old coins. I mean, he's got some. He's probably got some from Viking days and everything down there. Bless him.
Didn't Billy trade in for pelts, beaver pelts?
He did for a while, yeah, he did. But fur trading's looked down on now, so we don't like to talk about it.
It's up there with dogging. It's not spoken about in the pod.
Well, unless your name's Rob or Seamus, they swap tips.
I'm glad to hear there's no zips being unfastened tonight.
well, yours are obviously not.
No.
It's obviously you that was doing it then, eh?
Definitely.
I don't know what happened there, but fucking hell.
I can either.
My mum was saying she wanted to listen to that pod. That was the pod she was going to listen to. I was like, no, you don't want to listen to that one, mum. That's not for your ears, that one.
No.
Nor anybody. Nobody should be listening to that, except Seamus.
I'm surprised the censor board weren't on to us.
Well, I think if anybody actually listened to any of our pods, we'd be banned by now. But luckily, nobody listens, so we're safe.
Fly under the radar.
Yeah, we only get spammers in our chat. I can't believe we got 2 spammers. It's the first time that's ever happened. We must be big time now.
Rob, did you hear the story about Daniel Sturridge getting injured on the plane?
Oh, cramp. Yeah, that was last week. Yeah.
Some things never change.
Yeah. Bless him. Poor bugger.
Flying to a match and you get injured on the plane with cramp.
It's only Studger could do that, let's be honest. Or Darren
Brilliant.
Anderson.
Yeah. Oh, sick note.
Who else? There's quite a few. Actually, Phil Jones could probably do it. Actually, he'd be lucky to make it onto the plane in the first place, wouldn't he, Deeps?
Yeah, he's a walking sick note. He has been out injured for God knows how many
Don't suggest walking,
months.
mate. That'll get him out injured for a month.
Yeah, that's 1 month down already.
And I remember at the time, Deeps, there was a big battle. There was a tug of war between us and United for a signature. And thank God United.
They jumped in and snatched him from it. He was ready to. He'd been round the training ground and everything under Kenny.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, he was set to join Liverpool,
Well,
and then Man U jumped in and Fergie snatched him away.
Oh, good man, Fergie.
I think the events line up like this. We were interested in Varane, so was Real Madrid. Zidane talked Varane into signing for Real Madrid, and so we went in search of another young up-and-coming defender and ended up pursuing Phil Jones.
Similar,
and
so you
both crap.
Yeah.
You went looking for a quality defender, but instead you got Jones.
Yeah. Well, if they were looking at Varane, they weren't looking at quality. Let's be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, Jones would probably be a better defender if he could stay fit all these years.
Yeah, at least he tries.
Yeah, at least he tries to defend.
Yeah. It might not do very well, but he puts himself in there. Let's be honest. He's willing to put his body in there. That's probably why he gets injured so much. To be fair to him, he's a trier.
Do you not rate Varane, Deeps?
Still to be convinced, I don't think he's. I don't have any concrete opinion right now because he hasn't played too much for us, and I didn't watch him that too regularly when he was playing for Real Madrid because for the first 3-4 seasons at least he was purely a backup to Pepe and Ramos,
Yeah.
and then I stopped actually watching Real Madrid that much. So it's hard to formulate an opinion when you're watching a game every 3, 4, 5 weeks. So I'm still yet to be convinced. Well, at least he is fast.
That's his only quality to me. Got no positional sense. I don't understand how he managed to make a career at Real Madrid. Just shows how low they've got, how low they'd fallen.
And he's considered to be one of the better centre backs.
Well, only by United fans who thought he was the greatest centre back in the world. They were actually, this is the thing, on the site, they were actually saying he's better than Van Dijk when you signed him. It's like, how many of you have actually watched him play? He's shit. Let's be honest, he's not. He's a very average defender.
He does have an excellent resume that you have to give him.
What, he's played for Real Madrid, who had no competition for like years in Spain. So
He's won 3 Champions League back to back. He's
yeah,
won
but
the World Cup.
yeah,
I
but
think he has 4 Champions League medals, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
but it's a team game. You can't really judge a player on what a team wins, because otherwise Jimmy Traore's a Champions League winner.
But people do judge it like that.
I know.
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's like saying Steven Gerrard must be shite because he never won the Premier League. He must have been an awful player. Because how many?
And Anderson must be one of the best.
Exactly. Or John O'Shea. I mean, what a player he must have been. He had a huge amount of medals. Got the most medals in Irish football history. Oh, that killed it. Baz has gone quiet now on that one.
No.
He didn't have
listen,
any. Can't mention that. I can't insult an Irish player, eh, Baz?
No, I agree totally. I'm just thinking, was it the fact that Varane was more or less he had better players around him, which carried him a little. If he made that's just what I'm thinking, because I just remember watching when he'd be playing for France, and he never stood out.
Well, they had Kante playing in front of him. When you've got Kante playing in front of you, you don't need to do any defending, really, do you?
No.
And Deschamps is a very, very defensive-minded coach as well. It's easier to play in a defensive-minded coach because even Chris Smalling looked a really good centre-back when he was playing under Louis van Gaal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That is true.
Mike Smalling, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Mikey. See, I miss Louis van Gaal at Man United. He, just for that falling over and his Mike Smalling comments, things like that. If only he'd allowed himself to be his personality instead of hiding it.
But is that
Is
that the Dutch way? Is that the Dutch way that don't like to be? The personality come through.
No, he just likes to be disciplined. He thinks that's the wrong way to do things, is to allow himself, to allow himself to have a personality. Like, he thinks they should be strict, and it's just the way he is. I just don't think he just didn't understand English football. What do you think,
No.
Seamus? Oh.
He was starting to do a little better on the job, but he was a bit weird with his ways.
But if he'd come out and he'd done more things like when he did the dive on the sideline.
That was amazing.
I mean, that's the best thing. That is the best moment in Man United's history of my lifetime that I can remember. You know, that is the moment that I will remember till the day I die in Man United's football history. That was brilliant. If he'd have allowed himself to do more stuff like that and show his personality and show his passion, the United fans would have taken to him. Instead, they couldn't take to him because he just didn't show anything.
He would always just sit in his chair all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Ole's sister. They just don't seem to understand the mentality of the club they're managing, and that's more of a problem. You know, it's you've got to fit in with the club you're in charge of. You've got to be part. You know, you've got to fit what they need rather than how you think it should be done. Just where Ranić might struggle. That is the one thing he might struggle with, because he might turn out to not be the right personality involved. If there is a problem, I think I don't think he's a bad choice before you say anything. I'm just saying that might be the one thing that he might not get is Man United's personality. If there is an issue, that would be the one thing that I would be worried about.
But he probably won't be the manager in the long run.
No, exactly.
Right now he's just a certain fix to get us through to the summer.
But he has said he hasn't ruled out recommending he stays on as manager for longer. That must be a nice way to get a job,
I think that was more in humor.
I hope so.
Like everybody saying, just 6 months, and him just saying, I do have a say.
Yeah.
And I can say my name as well.
Because that'd show he gets the club if he did. Because it's United are known for being for having a personality. Oh, what's going on now? Anyway, I think we should call it there before we carry on, because it's like we've gone over 2 hours. I've just seen the time. So we'll see you.
Okay, see you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday. It just flew by once Baz has turned up. That's what it was.
See you next Thursday.
Hey, everybody.
Bye.
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 Bye.